Good morning, guys. It is the first morning in my hotel. I'm staying at the Omni in Fort Lauderdale, and it's so cute. I took some clips of the hotel room. I shouldn't even say it's cute. It's massive. So beautiful. I just woke up and got ready for the day. I did my makeup, had my lemon water, and I wanted to start off this video by sharing some of the travel tips that I always follow that really help me to stay healthy even when I'm away from home and my routine. And I think having some structure in my morning routine helps me so much to go into the day feeling my best, more energized, and more like clear-minded, I would say. And especially for me, when I wake up first thing in the morning, it feels like that stereotype of like, don't talk to me until I've had my coffee, except for me, it's matcha. But yeah, I really like to have at least an hour to wake up in the morning, come to my senses, and just dedicate that time to me. So what I like to do when I'm traveling, I like to pack things that I normally have in my routine. For example, any supplements that I take, I'll bring my matcha powder, mineral salt, electrolytes, and anything else that I'm used to having at home. If I can bring it, I will. And as much as I can, adjust to the time zone if there's a time zone change on the first day. So even if that means, for example, I didn't fall asleep last night until 12, but I still wanted to wake up early and obviously have a full day here. So I woke up at 6 a.m. as I usually do at home. And even if that means losing a little bit of sleep for the first day, it's worth it because then you're getting your body adjusted. And then I know tonight I'm going to be a little bit more tired and can hopefully fall asleep at like 10 or something. But I'm someone who loves structure and routine, and I feel like that has been the key to showing up every day my best and most productive self. So I pack all of my stuff with me that I can bring, and then once I get to the hotel or wherever I'm staying, I will do an Uber Eats or DoorDash delivery of items that I couldn't bring. So for example, I always like to have my almond milk with me, especially for the mornings. I love to rehydrate my body, and along with lemon water and regular waters, make sure to get water for your room as well. I love to have tea, and what I'll do is usually a matcha latte with half water and half almond milk, and I've tried to do it with just water before and it doesn't hit the same. I also like that there's calories in there, so my stomach isn't like empty first thing in the morning. It just helps so much to have a little bit of substance in there. So I'll do my matcha, add some collagen in there, ginger, I brought my monk fruit, and I do this the night before so that first thing in the morning I'm not like waiting around for a delivery or for places to open. It's just all organized before I even go to sleep. I also like to order some of the foods that I can keep in my fridge here. Usually for lunch and dinner I'll eat out, but in the morning, depending on like what the day looks like, I always like to have good food here just in case. So some of the things I get are fruit, and fresh fruit can be tricky when you're traveling because you don't always know if it's going to be ripe or good. But one thing that I found is melon, pineapple. I don't really eat apples, but like apples, bananas, things like that that can hold well and are typically good for a longer time are best to get when traveling, because I've tried to get berries before and they're usually bad. Like, it's always a gamble, I would say. So I'll show you guys. This is what I got. It looks like just generic like cut up fruit, but this is always better to have than like nothing at all or something with a lot of fillers. And sometimes the hotel doesn't have the things that I like to eat because I am very picky about the ingredients that I put into my body. So if your hotel has it, then that's great, but I always just like to have my own stuff. And then also I got, this is chicken breast, but it's from the same brand that I get like the turkey slices from that I've shown in so many of my videos now. But yeah, super clean ingredients. I like to have protein and like a fiber or carb, well, both. But yeah, just having things that I usually have in my daily routine just gives me the best foundation to go into the day feeling good, feeling like I didn't just travel. Because if you're affected by travel, you know that it can mess with like your sleep, your digestion. It can just throw your body off. So the way that I've kind of hacked it as much as possible is having my routine and adjusting to the time zone like day one. So with all that being said, I'm in Fort Lauderdale for a work event. It's a weekend conference called Women in Wealth. There's going to be so many amazing speakers. I think there's 3,000 women coming, and it's just going to be a really motivational, informative weekend. Like, this is the kind of stuff that I love because I feel like I'm a very ambitious person, and to surround yourself with other people who are like that, specifically women, is so important because the people who you surround yourself with have such a big effect on your life. Like, if you're always surrounded by negative, gossipy people, your mind is going to be impacted by that and just take away the time and energy that you could be pouring into yourself. And specifically at this conference, it's a lot of women entrepreneurs. So they're going going to be speaking about their journeys and actionable tips that people can walk away with. I'm going to be meeting a lot of the girls. I feel like my journey in starting a business or a brand has definitely been one where I've learned so much, and it's such a valuable experience to pursue something of your own. But I think something that I've gotten caught up on is feeling like I can do everything myself, which is just not the case. You only have so much capacity, and if you're not willing to accept help or learn from others and feel like, oh, I know it all, I can do it all myself, it's going to be really hard to grow and scale. So I'm at a point where with my brand RA Pilates, I started it in 2023 and it has been my baby. Like, I absolutely love the process of starting it and really learning the whole process of, you know, the basics from making a website, getting an LLC, creating the whole foundation and recording all of the workouts. And then on the marketing side, positioning all of my social media content around it, how I talk about it, and then acquiring customers, retaining customers. Like, it's this whole thing that has been such a rewarding experience. But full transparency, I would say it's definitely reached a point where it's not growing to the degree that I envision it. And I think the market for fitness apps is pretty saturated, but I'm not using that as an excuse. I would say the biggest thing is me not knowing everything that needs to be done, and also just not having the capacity on a day-to-day basis to do everything that a business like that requires. So essentially what I've been working on is restructuring my offer to be still the Pilates workouts. I think what I have in there is really good and valuable, but just restructure it in a different way that, you know, when people are looking at it, they feel like what they're gonna get out of it is more valuable and a transformative experience. And that also comes onto me, like, I need to make it the most valuable and the best product that it can be. So as I'm working on that, I've also been surrounding myself with people who have done offers or have been in businesses that have reached levels and just been so successful that I really want for myself and my brand. So this weekend, there's going to be so many people who are actually doing things at the scale that I want to be at. And I also feel grateful because I'm working with the girl, Shelby, who is putting on this whole conference. So kind of learning through her in the process. And truly everyone who's going to be here is inspiring and doing something meaningful and purposeful, and just the kind of vibes and energy that, you know, it's so important to surround yourself with. So today is set up for the conference. We're doing some like behind the scenes setup on content planning and just making sure everything is ready for Friday. I'm thinking for this weekend, I'm going to show more like clips and bits here and there rather than full on vlogging, because it is going to be a busy weekend and I want to make sure I'm prioritizing my time to really be present. So yeah, but I wanted to start off this video by just talking about that and my healthy travel tips, because it really lays the foundation for like going into a busy weekend and starting on the right foot. So I will show you guys clips and then check back in a bit. These are all of the outfits that I have packed. We have some dresses, some more professional like daytime outfits. I'm gonna go do a workout. I haven't seen the gym yet or most of the hotel, so I'm excited to see. I think for an activewear set, I'm gonna wear this little white zip up, an aloe top. I might wear this one, and then some black leggings. Okay, this is the fit. Let's go. This past weekend was absolutely insane. So inspirational, so much fun, but unfortunately for you guys, I did not get very many clips. Just the whole weekend was very go, go, go. And I was getting a lot of content, but it was all on my iPhone and like vertical, so I didn't dedicate a lot of the videos to the vlog. I put a couple clips in there, but it just was so hectic and there was no way that I could be doing everything and vlogging at the same time. But it was so much fun, so busy. Each day I was up by 5 a.m. and then we would go until like 10 p.m. Some days earlier, some days later, but when I tell you, not a single second was free the entire weekend. So Friday was the first day when registration started. We did the mastermind session, and then there was the welcome party. And just from the first day alone, the insights and the perspectives and conversations that I was hearing, it just pays so much to be in rooms with people, especially women who are ambitious and building businesses and are successful. The takeaways from this weekend were so valuable to me, and it really shifted my perspective on how I approach things and just made me really excited and inspired. Day 2 was the first day of speakers. There was Shelby, Lori Grenier, and the founder of Solid Core. I'm trying to remember, but my brain is such mush. But they all had really great takeaways. Energy was very high. The excitement, like, it was just so much fun. That night we did the gala where we dressed up and it was like Gatsby themed. That was so much fun. Everything was decked out. All of the girls were dressed up and looked amazing. And then day 3, I feel like day 3 was a little bit more of like a deep breath because we'd already done the first 2 days and we kind of knew what we were going into on the last day. So it was much more like exciting and relaxed, I would say. There was Elena Cardone, Afna Khalifa, I think is her name. Oh yeah, also Jasmine Starr, she spoke on the first day. Dr. Sonia, I think her name is Sonia. She had the best energy. Like, all of these speakers did so amazing, and all of the girls that I met were so nice. And truly, to be a part of something that has never been done before with an all-women conference to this size was absolutely incredible. I definitely want to move forward with this information and sit down and just map out what I want my next steps, especially in business, to look like, because I have so many ideas and so many like I said, perspective shifts after this weekend that just feel so valuable. And I think especially for me, at least for a majority of my life, was not surrounded by women who are really ambitious and successful in business. And so this whole world is very new to me. And yeah, I just feel grateful to have been a part of it and definitely move forward with some of these actionable steps that I learned. But now it is Wednesday, kind of jumping ahead in time because Monday and Tuesday were just a lot of catching up on sleep, catching up on content and emails, and just kind of resetting. But I got in yesterday. I'm staying in downtown Miami, like right on the cusp of downtown and Brickell, right across the bridge. I'll show you the view. It's beautiful. And yeah, I wanted to take you guys along with a day in Miami with me. I wanted to look at a few neighborhoods and just get a feel for what it's like living here as much as possible, just for the few days that I am here. But I will say it feels really exciting to be here, and the energy is really good, and I feel like I'll get signs from the universe that like things keep popping up for me where I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like I am meant to be here, which if you're in tune with that stuff, you know. But yeah, the energy just feels really good. The weather feels really good. It's 90 degrees and humid, like my favorite. I want to go look at a couple of apartments today, check out some of the stores and shops. And yeah, it's cloudy. It was drizzling a little bit earlier, but only for like 5 minutes. But hopefully when we're walking, it doesn't start downpouring. I'll show you guys the view here. Like, are you kidding? So that's Brickell over there. And then you have to cross this waterway. And then this side is downtown. Yeah, crazy. The first time I came to Miami, I was like, this is insane. It's a city on the water, palm trees, feels tropical, but it feels so new and clean. At least the areas that I see, it feels very clean. Just feels so good to be here right now. So I just got ready. I am going to walk around Brickell, probably grab some lunch, and just feel it out for the afternoon. Okay, I just went to Nude Miami. I'm back at my hotel because they didn't have any seating. Well, they did have some inside, but 1, it was loud, 2, it was dark, and 3, there were only like 2 other people there, and I didn't really want to be vlogging like when there's only 2 other people. So just walked back and I'm sitting outside, literally in the sky. But I was so surprised because I think Nude Miami looks really cool and pretty online and in the pictures, but in person it was so small. The options were not great, and I'm just being critical because I'm comparing it to Erewhon, which, hello, I love Erewhon, and they just do everything so well. So I kind of had this idea of what Nude would be, and it just didn't live up to the hype that I had in my head. They did have clean options. I got a matcha latte with milk almond milk, and they used Rocky's Matcha, which is a good matcha brand. But I was also gonna get lunch from the hot bar, but everything looked really not good. Like, especially for the prices. They had small cut up pineapple and melon for, not even kidding, like $10 to $15, which not even Erewhon does that. For a tiny thing, it's like 5 or 6. And beyond that, they didn't have really any other options for cut up fruit. And the hot bar, yeah, it just looked like basic food options. Like, I don't know. It didn't look appetizing. So safe to say I didn't get anything, but I wanted to try their matcha. And it's good. They don't have stevia or monk fruit, which I prefer, but they did have some house-made syrups, which looked fun. So maybe I'll try that next time. But I think planes keep going by. Miami is such an interesting city. I've never lived anywhere that's right on the water and feels so tropical, but also is a city like this. So it's been really cool to spend some time here. But yeah, nude Miami, it was like whatever. I probably would go back if I lived here and like periodically try things, but sad that that's the only like health food grocery option that we have here. Unless I'm missing something. I need to do more research, but this was like the one that was popular. Yeah, it's okay. I'm probably not gonna finish this, honestly. But yeah, walking around has been really fun. I looked at a couple apartments. There's one near my hotel that looked really good in the pictures, but when I got there, I was like, I don't like this. And then there was another one closer to Brickell that I saw, and I really like that one. So we'll see. The only thing is, if I were to realistically move here before June, which is the end of my current lease, I would need to break my lease. So I'd have to talk with my building about that and just see like what all of that entails. And to move again, it's such a process that I just did, but I also feel like time passes and we're never promised tomorrow, and I just feel like so much energy here. I don't really want to wait another 8 months to be here. So we'll see. Decisions. Anyways, I think I'm gonna run to Whole Foods, pick up some fruit because I really did want some fruit, and then I might walk around a little bit more. We'll see. Good morning, guys. It is my last day here in Miami. It is 10 a.m. I woke up a little bit earlier so I could get ready and be out the door because I want to go check out another neighborhood that I was kind of on the fence about coming here because I had seen an area next to it that I was like not super interested in, but I keep hearing about Edgewater, if you're familiar. Oh my gosh. Okay, my camera just almost fell. Okay, that should be fine. But yeah, I had heard about Edgewater, but I think I saw Midtown or Wynwood and kind of thought that's what Edgewater was. But the more that I've looked into it and talked to people, Edgewater is supposedly like a really great spot, especially for healthy food and workout studios. It's more on the water. I don't know if there's beach access, but supposedly it's a really cute place, and I feel like I've spent more time in Brickell. I saw Sunset Harbor and didn't love it. It kind of felt like more slow, just different vibes than what I'm looking for. So I'm gonna head over to Edgewater. There's 1 or 2 apartments that I want to see, and then obviously just walk around and get a feel for the neighborhood, the shops, the restaurants, probably get lunch over there. And then luckily I asked this morning if I could do late checkout, and they gave me until 2 p.m. So I'm just gonna leave all of my stuff here, head over there for a couple hours, and then Uber back here. And then my flight is out of Fort Lauderdale at 6 something. So it's a later flight. I did that so I could have a little bit more of today to explore and do things before having to go back home. So I'm really excited. I'm hoping it really gives the vibes that I'm looking for, because Brickell is super exciting and very touristy. There's lots of like nice cars and restaurants, and it feels very flashy, which is fun. But yeah, Edgewater is supposedly the place to be for health and wellness. So we will see, and I will show you guys little bits and clips.